Yo, what's up, my geeks and goobers? So, apparently Invincible is woke now. This is a video by a cornball named GDA Talks Comics. Sorry, not GDA, JDA. And I wanted to review this video today and talk about how this guy probably has his brain in his ass. Now, the first telltale sign that this guy is an absolute moron is the fact that he used woke in his title. Let me be a nerd for a sec.
Woke is defined as a person who is awakened to the prophetic vision of social justice.
Now, good sir, does that sound like a negative adjective to you? Being aware of the social and political climate in today's age is actually kind of a positive adjective, I would say. And so this is obviously a telltale sign that this guy is full of shit. But hey, let's hear him out. Maybe you'll make a good point. Who knows, we can't judge a book by its cover, now can we, good sir? Let's see how Robert Kirkman ruined Invincible with its woke agenda.
Invincible has a massive woke problem. It's not just coming from the Amazon Prime version, which always makes things worse because it's Amazon Prime.
I actually don't think Amazon Prime is that bad. I don't think it makes things worse. Look, it made The Boys better.
But Robert Kirkman is a woke nutjob. He's a weird, rabid leftist atheist who's caused problems in everything that he's touched for decades now.
Dude, we're not even like 5 seconds in, and he's already said... So apparently Robert Kirkman is a woke, rabid leftist atheist. Which, hey, only one of those adjectives is bad. I don't know why you made it seem like all the other ones were bad too. And attaching a bad adjective to adjectives of people that you don't personally like isn't a way to call someone out, Like, if I said that this guy was a degenerate comic reader, that wouldn't really mean anything. Because if I have no proof to back up the fact that he's a degenerate, and then just tack on comic reader, which doesn't mean anything negative in this context, that wouldn't be a way to attack someone,
And this all happened in the comic before, which he wrote himself as the creator of Invincible, and he ruined this series with its wokeness to begin with.
I know this is an active conversation with the guy, so repeating this means nothing, but I feel like it still bears repeating. Woke is an objectively bad adjective, and it can't be used to ruin something,
So this is exactly what I expected would happen as Season 4 ends here. It's finally coming to pass, and a lot of people are pissed about it.
Based on your moronic thumbnail, I'm gonna assume you mean the scene where Eve says that she got an abortion, and I don't think anyone's really pissed about it. I think it's just you, my guy.
Because they were watching the show hoping for just this bloody, gory superhero show.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Have you even watched the show, dude? Genuinely, this is how you would sell the show to, like, a toddler. Do you not understand what Invincible is supposed to be? Like, at all? Do you have the brain of a Neanderthal, where you find your enjoyment from Invincible because of the action and the blood and the gore? Really, that's where you find your enjoyment out of this show. Not the extremely powerful and deep characters and character arcs and amazing voice acting. No, me like it when people get torn apart. Like, I expected this guy to be moronic, but I didn't expect him to be this moronic. Like, is that not an insane take? Oh, people liked this show because of the blood and gore. No, that was a very small bit of why people liked this show. People liked it because of the characters and the absolutely amazing writing that Robert Kirkman has put on our telescreens. Goddamn, we're not even like a minute in and I'm already ranting like a raved lunatic on the side of the street.
Show just like everybody liked out of the comic before, and now they're getting the political lectures to it.
Political lecture? No, hold on. I have to calm myself. I have to be diplomatic about this. When Eve told Mark that she got an abortion, Mark wasn't like, well, scientifically speaking, it was just a clump of cells, so we're good, you're good. Just because one thing that's slightly related to modern day politics happened does not mean that the show is giving you a political lecture, my dude. Look, William's gay. Does that mean they're giving you a political lecture on LGBTQ? No.
Now, Robert Kirkman has said something even worse as this comes along as to why he's made some of his decisions, and it shows he just hates white people and white males especially, like himself, like all of these guys do.
Can you, LARP as an intelligent being for, 2 seconds? No, hold on. Let's not be rude, okay? He's not dumb, just has a different opinion. Don't get angry at him. He's still learning. Yeah, we haven't even heard out his point. Why does he think Robert Kirkman hates white people, despite the fact that he is white himself? Let's hear him out.
This is the problem with the comic book industry in a nutshell. This is what's been going on that we've been fighting for a lot of years, and Invincible has a massive woke problem.
Oh, so he does probably think that William being gay was a political lecture.
Let's get into the news in just a moment. My name's John Delarose, everybody. I am a comic creator, and I just do them myself.
Now, I want to give this guy a few brownie points for being an artist himself. I respect other artists, being an artist myself. But the fact that he uses AI art in his banner and his profile picture, I don't exactly have high hopes that these comics are actually made by him. And if not, scum of the earth, go to jail right now. What will you have after 500 polar bears die? I'd like to take this moment as well to ask if you like this video so far. If you do like it and want to see more content like it, drop a follow. I would really appreciate it. I'm very close to 1,000 subscribers, so yeah. Anyway, let's get back to this cornball
Problem and what we got. It wrapped this week to critic praise and the show's lowest Rotten Tomatoes audience score in 4 seasons. Critics have it at a clean 100%, of course. Audience are down to 87%, which was down from 94% in Season 1, 90% in Season 2, 93% in Season 3. That's a gap between press and audience reaction that's not random, and I think it's going to drop further now that Season 4 is completed.
Wow, that's actually quite the staggering change. I think you're right. This could lead to a downfall of Invincible of some sorts. If you bother to open Google. See, this is actually what we like to call in the business called fabricated bullshit to make your point seem more sound. Sorry for being a Google debunker, dude. He drones on about, episode 4 of Invincible Season 4, which was peak. No one will tell me otherwise. I will do unspeakable acts to Volcanica. I'll bet $5 that this guy thinks that episode was Satanist propaganda or something. He also talks about the gender swap for Tech Jacket, which we'll get to later.
The whole Season 4 deal. Here's the rest of the problem. Season 4 finale included a scene in which Adam Eve tells Mark she had an abortion while she was fighting the Vilmar.
You'll notice that this man has a bit of a trouble with saying a few things, which if he has a speech impediment or English isn't his first language, I'm not gonna rag on him for. That's too big of dick behavior that I don't want to engage in.
This moment's pulled from the comics in issue 79, where Eve makes the same choice under the same circumstances. Kirkman wrote this in 2011. The show's faithful to the source on this point. But this is where it all goes. The tone goes even crazier, treats Mark's reaction, which he comforts Eve, and apologizes for not being there, rather than processing any grief over his lost child.
Look, there is, heaps of shit to unpack here. You would think that this guy is moving for the amount of shit that there is to unpack here. First of all, this part of the video deals in a pretty big political subject that I love yapping about. I love yapping politics, but a lot of people might not. So, I'll just preface it with this. Whatever your political stance is, I'm not gonna make fun of you for it. I will treat you like a human being that just has a different opinion than me. So I'm not gonna make fun of this guy for being a pro-lifer. That's, as much as that is my style, I'm not gonna do that. Also, remind me, because my memory is pretty hazy on Invincible, and my Prime free trial ran out, so I can't check. I don't think the show said that Mark was, like, evil for this. I think the show, was just kind of dealing in the tragedy of the situation. You know, Mark wasn't there for Eve, so she let go of herself, and she had to get this abortion because her powers and her life was at risk. Which I think it's a good allegory for what most women in the position where they might need to get an abortion. And it's just a pretty good scene and a pretty great moment. And I don't think that you should be harping on about it and, you know, saying that the creator is evil for making light of this situation. It's a creative decision he made. And also, the show doesn't exactly glorify the fact that Eve got an abortion. It just acknowledged that it was necessary for the situation. And yeah, I think Mark actually does kind of process this grievance, but you know, he was more sad about the fact that he wasn't there for Eve because he loves her a lot. So I don't think this shows that Mark is some kind of bad person. I think the show is trying to show us that Mark is just really caring for Eve. And yeah, that's just my opinion on the matter.
As the emotionally correct response, a choice the AV Club even says the most interesting thing a superhero can do is making a choice.
How could he make this choice? You know, they couldn't exactly FaceTime while Mark was in space, you know?
Conservative fans are reading this framing as advocacy, of course, for abortion, which it is, and that's what Kirkman had tried to normalize to begin with. The scene spent more screen time in season recaps and press coverage than any other plot development in the finale. Having Adam Eve have the abortion is just disgusting, and this is exactly what he pushed to begin with.
Hey, so remember how I said I was gonna be respectful of other people's viewpoints? Well, that's a two-way street, my dude. I could easily play the disgusting card on pro-lifers, but I'm not gonna do that because we are all different people with different political opinions, and we shouldn't shame each other for said different political opinions. Correct?
You put it all together, this is an off-brand filler episode, gender swap legacy character, weak animation that reviewers have quietly acknowledged, and a finale that puts abortion on the scene in an emotional center and frames grief around it as a failure of male behavior.
Again, it doesn't do that. Herm was peak. The gender swap is really not important, and you're making a mountain out of a molehill, dude.
Yikes. Critical consensus calling it the best superhero show on television is crazy.
I don't agree with the creator politically, so the show is bad. Look, if Charlie Kirk rose from the dead and dropped 4 seasons of straight peak, I would eat it up. Doesn't mean I have to like him.
But this is pretty wild. This is wild. But the audience score tells you this is a problem, and it's going to get worse as the audience score develops. Now, this is what Robert Kirkman actually says about...
We'll get into his woeful ineptness about tech jackets soon, but I want to reiterate something. Dumbass, the audience score is actually technically better than it was in season 1. Do your research.
Kirkman actually says about the gender swap. One of the downsides of Invincible is Corey Walker and I were 23 and 21 when we started that book. And yet your default, when you're not really paying attention, is yourself. Every time we introduce another character, it's, look, another white male. Who knew? It's just a shortcoming that we hadn't quite noticed and done our due diligence to correct. It's a shortcoming to make a white male character. What?
If that what was from you realizing how stupid you just sounded, then yeah, I agree with you. What? What did you just say? Robert Kirkman doesn't hate white people. You know why? 'Cause he is a white person. No one hates their own kind like that, dude. That doesn't make sense. He's talking about how he wants more diversity in the character designs in his show. More women and people of color does not mean I hate white people, you moron.
These people hate white male, and he is a white male. That's the craziest part about this.
Oh, my sweet summer child, you're so close to getting it.
Another white male character is bad somehow. What? These people are insane.
What's insane is trying to strawman someone because you disagree with them politically.
So you can see this. He's got a little bit of a gamma soy face here, guys.
Another telltale sign that someone is full of shit on the internet is when they use terms like alpha, beta, and gamma. This means that they do not know anything about men or women or anything really. Bottom line, they're stupid.
This is exactly what we have going on in our culture.
I thought it was agreed upon that white men don't have culture.
Going on in our culture nonstop. This is why Invincible gets a TV show to begin with. This is why Invincible is pushed by these people, because there's a lot of liberal, far leftist agenda that they're trying to push through this. The abortion thing is the talk of the town right now, and it's absolutely crazy what's going on. Now, a lot of people are going viral right now as well, talking about how Invincible is just making poor female characters on the top of it.
Debbie is laughing at you from the corner of the room.
Which is really funny if you look at it and you see just where this all comes from. And you could see, I'm going to find a viral tweet that went the other day about the female characters that are disasters in the show. And it's true. They just don't know how to write female characters whatsoever. And they don't know how to write female characters because they're woke. And they want to push women that are not like women.
Again, you're wrong. I don't know what you're yapping about.
So this came from John A. Douglas, who says, are any of the women in Invincible not awful? Eve aborts Mark's baby.
Her baby too. Mark wasn't there so they could talk about it. And also, one decision does not invalidate a whole character.
Debbie, against all common sense, goes back to her genocidal murderer husband.
I agree with that one, justice for my goat, Paul, but again, one bad decision does not invalidate a whole character, especially the most well-written female character up until now in Invincible.
Amber was an entitled SeaWorld.
Yeah, very feminist, calling someone a blatantly sexist slur. Yeah, doesn't matter if you censored it or not. Also, this is season 1 stuff. Why are we still angry about this?
Anissa forces herself on Mark.
Anissa isn't an attempt at writing a proper female character, because she was raised on an alien planet with different sets of morals, and is a villain also. And also, that hasn't happened in the story yet.
Duplicate cheats with Rex.
Say it with me, folks. One bad decision does not make an entire character bad. Why do I have to keep saying this? How stupid are you?
Maybe Monster Girl is okay, or the Bug Mom. Oof. But that's the problem. If you get these people trying to write women in a feminist way and trying to push the agenda, you end up with not good women characters. And actually,
I'm not going to repeat it a 4th time. I'm just not. Eve, Debbie, hell, maybe even Kate are great female characters, and just because they made one thing that you either disagree with or is actually pretty bad does not mean that they are suddenly horribly written female characters. I guarantee you, if I asked any female fan of Invincible, they would tell you that these are great representations of women.
Female character who doesn't seem to be awful in the show is Tech Jacket, who was the gender swap character from a male. So really the conclusion here is the only good women in these stories are actually men. I guess that's a transgender thing. I'm very confused as what's going on.
That isn't the own you think it is. It just means you're a moron that won't educate himself.
But as you can see, this went mega viral on X, and that's the deal. Maybe Monster Girl is okay. Pretty good laugh there.
Okay, yeah, that one actually wasn't that bad. I'll give you that one.
Invincible is woke crap, the programming for the next generation. Heroes demonstrate real virtue, not embrace rice.
How is this embracing vice? Also, Invincible isn't a superhero show. Well, I mean, it is, but like, it's more of a character study, actually. Invincible is going through like a big moral struggle throughout the entire series, which isn't embracing vice. It's just a compelling character arc. I don't think this guy actually even watched Invincible.
Dude, the Monster Girl has a D when she transforms. Yeah, there's transgender allegories in this show too.
Hey, fun fact, just because someone thinks that another person is a good person, the person they're talking about having a dick does not automatically mean that the person that thinks that they're a good person is gay. I know you've never been in a actual relationship before, but also, even if it is a trans allegory, which I don't think it is because I didn't even know this until I had to Google it, that's not a bad thing.
What's wrong with Anissa, though? Should be obvious. Pretty funny. Hey, it's like this. It separates itself basically from making all the women the same and gives people something to talk about. And F. Amber, she's a B, too. Wow.
Says the guy who thinks everybody looking like the same white male is prejudiced towards white males.
Written. But Invincible's a massive problem, guys, and it's going to go for like 8-9 seasons, they say. I don't know how they're going to sustain this after the crap they've put into it already, but we'll see if audiences come back. Are you still watching the show? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear from you.
He shows us comics again, and the video's over. Yes, I actually do plan to watch the next few seasons of Invincible, because I'm not the type of person to whine over the smallest disagreement between me and the creator of a show. I just kind of despise this guy, honestly. Using words like woke as a negative thing, or using words like gamma, soy, jack, or something. It's just not a very good look for him. And like, I don't know how you could live your life like this person, where you get angry at like the smallest inconvenience. Tell me what you thought of the video in the comments, and also tell me what you thought of the new season of Invincible. Don't worry, I read all of my comments, and I love hearing feedback. So with that being said, like, subscribe, and have a beautiful day. Ciao.